one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show is you're someone that is familiar with XPR and Metallicus, and you've dipped your toe into other blockchains, like you said, the Luna, and you seem to be someone that recognizes um, you know the reason that we should have blockchain interoperability, or just even looking at different blockchains in general. Um, what would you say as far as focusing on a single blockchain if you're a newbie? Um, you know, how do you think? Do you think that you should focus on one, or do you think it is a good idea to kind of open up your eyes a little bit and see what's out there?
So I'm not going to tell anybody what to think or how to feel about it. They should always do their own research, right? Now, I'll tell you my opinion. Multi-chain makes more sense in the idea of like, I'll give an example. I know a lot about the Atom Cosmos ecosystem. I've been lucky enough through the podcast to talk to project leaders and developers. And one example I'd give is there's this new chain on there called Dungeon Chain, Crypto Dungeon, and it's built specifically for gaming. And they built their validator set in a specific way. I think they're all in North America, and they limited the number. And so they built everything with gaming in mind, right? So it has that individual purpose. Now, there's plenty of other projects that are built on top of Cosmos, which is also a layer zero, similar to Metal, right? And then XPR being a layer one on top of that. Dungeon Chain, in this case, is a layer one. Now, a different layer one, another example would be like Jackal. Those guys are really into cloud storage, and they came up with this amazing, unique. I would highly suggest people research Jackal. Like those, I love their product, but they have a background in it was some sort of they were doing forensic data harvesting for law firms and for court cases. Okay, and they found an issue with traditional cloud storage that, like for instance Google Cloud and a lot of the bigger cloud storages happen to have backdoors built in for whatever reason. I don't know the ins and outs of why.
Yeah.
Well, when it came to the court litigation, the defending or the prosecutor, depending on who was the opposing side, would say, well, they have a backdoor. How do I know all the information you just retrieved and stored there isn't tampered with, right? So all their work would
Mm.
get thrown out. And then they searched for solutions in other places, and there were some that were close to what they were looking for. And they ended up building Jackal, which is a Web3 cloud storage. So Web3 in a way chose them, right? And so they solved a problem. So each of these chains are solving very specific issues where I don't think if everything was on Bitcoin or everything was on XRP, they'd necessarily be able to solve all those issues as efficiently and specifically designed for those for those problems that they're trying to solve or those specific uses. So I really like the idea of different chains that have very specific uses that solve problems that can interoperate with each other. Like I said, those two are both on Cosmos, but they're doing very different things, and they can interact with each other. Like I can swap directly in like Kepler wallet, which is a Cosmos wallet. I can swap directly Dungeon over to Atom or Dungeon over to Jackal, and it's super, super cheap. So there's a lot of advantages there in not being a purist,
Mm.
because we want crypto everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it as crypto is competing with each other. I see it as crypto is competing with everything else. I mean, look at how big the
Yeah.
stock market compared to Web3. Like, let's go compete with that instead of with each other.
Right. Right.